Okay, so let's clear this table up a little bit. So you can see we have all these attached fields. So we've attached now this map unit aggregate attribute table to our soil map, but we don't have any descriptions on these columns. And there's definitely a bunch of columns in here that we don't need. Like remember, column 33 here is something to do with, for engineers, as using the soil as a source of sand, right? Why would we need that? We don't. So we can get that out of there pretty easily, and we can put in some descriptive column names for the stuff that we want. So what we're going to do is export this as a CSV file. And so you go to your layer, and then you right click on it, and then you go to export, save feature as, and we're saving it as a CSV. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in a folder that I've designated for this. Okay, and I'll just call it actually, I won't create a new folder. I'll just do that, and I'll just call the file let's say soil map, soil table. Okay. You know, I don't think the CRS, well, the CRS doesn't matter at this point because it's just the CSV file, but whatever, you can just leave that. And then let's go ahead and just, we're not going to add save file to map, just click OK. And then let's go to the, Excel file. Here it is. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start putting in some names of the columns that we want to keep. So this is the field number 2. So let's go ahead and keep that one. So field 2, and this is the tables and columns descriptions from the metadata. And so for map unit, like aggregate, MU aggregate, field 2 is map unit name, right, or the soil name. But let's just go ahead, we'll just call it map unit name. So that's a good one to keep in our with our data. Slope gradient stuff, you could put that in there. I personally don't find that super useful because we can just bring in LiDAR data or a DEM to figure out slope and all that. So in this case, we can use LiDAR because it's Oregon, which has the entire Willamette Valley and really most of the populated parts of the state covered with LiDAR. Available water storage could be one that we might want to look at. So this is a mature vineyard, so I'm going to look at the available water storage in the first 100 centimeters of the soil, because that's where the vast majority of our roots are going to be pulling water from. So that's going to be field number 14. So go into my here, and I'm actually going to take everything out. I'm going to take everything out that I don't need. So delete all those. And this one here, this is field 14. So this is the available water storage, 0 to 100 centimeters. I'm going to take this out too. And so that was the 0 to 150 centimeters. And then this is drainage class in number 16. So I want that. Because that would be, of course, it's helpful to know when you're farming. And then, let's see, is there anything else we want? Irrigated capability. We may want that, but we really don't need it in this case. Okay, so that looks like that's about it. That's going to be really kind of useful for us. And I'm going to leave that map unit key at the end. Okay, so delete all those. And so look at that. So there's MU key. And you can see it's the same values, right? Those values line up. So this is the MU key that was in the aggregate file, and this is the MU key that was in the spatial file, right? So these are identifiers that help you append things together. So we don't really need this value in this table because we already have it over here, so we can get rid of it. Okay, so go ahead and save it, and then now we're going to open it up in QGIS, same as we've done in the past. So add delimited text layer, and then there's our thing that we're just working on, soil table export. And in this case, it is a CSV file because we saved it as such. And so there you can see it's all there. Click add. And then again, append. Just go ahead and append this to the spatial layer. So go to properties, and then in this case we could actually delete all this because we don't need this joined layer. So go ahead and get rid of that. What we need to do now is append our soil table export. So click add thing, and then go to soil table export, and then we're going to use. Let's just go ahead and use the MU key to join them together. So this is the MU key coming from soil table export, and then this is the MU key that's on our spatial layer. Okay, and we can just go ahead and join it now. If we open the attribute table, there you go. So now you can see we have everything in there. Okay, so map unit name, all that stuff. Okay. So one thing to pay attention to in here is we have, when we appended the attribute table onto this, you can see it's made this prefix before the attribute table that's was appended. So it's saying, okay, you put in stable, this column comes from that soil table export, and this is the spatial layer, right? We can get rid of that appendix, that prefix. And so what you do is when you do that attachment, so let's go ahead and join it again. So again, properties and join. This is where we joined it before, but let's get rid of it. Okay, now let's do the join. So again, still do it on the key, still do it on key. And what we're going to do is go custom field name prefix, and just go ahead and delete that. Okay, and now when we click OK, it won't add that prefix. Other thing we should probably do here is only join the fields that are new, right? We don't need a new MU key, MU sim, all that stuff, because that's all coming from the spatial layer. But we do want these, right? Those are the key things from the table we created. Click OK, click apply, OK, and then go and look at the attribute table now. So now you can see we've got all that stuff with nice names of things, all that. Right, so next up I'll show you how to put in some more data, append some more stuff that can be interesting for viticulturists or for winemakers, or for just the general public, for consumer education. Okay.